Hello everyone and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to be showing you how to make homemade mayonnaise. And this is a really great recipe. It tastes really good, and of course you're controlling what you're putting into it. Now, it's actually not hard at all to make your own mayonnaise, but there are a couple of steps that you want to follow with this. It's basically a science, so you want everything to mix together really well and give you that nice, creamy, thick mayonnaise that you're expecting. So my first tip for this is to use an immersion blender. This is going to make such a difference. Now, if you check online, it will say that you can use a food processor to make homemade mayo. I've tried it that way and it kind of works, but it takes a lot longer and it's a lot more finicky. If homemade mayo is really something that you're aspiring to do on a consistent basis, I would really recommend just going ahead and investing in an immersion blender. It makes such a difference in the whole process. It's really easy and simple. So we are going to crack one cold egg right into the bottom of a medium-sized mason jar. You want to make sure that your egg is nice and cold. It will help with the emulsion process. And then on top of that egg, we are going to add 1 cup of a neutral tasting oil. For me, I like to use avocado oil. Just be aware if you use something that's got more flavor to it, like an olive oil, that flavor is going to be imparted in your end result. So if you want your mayonnaise to taste like olive oil, by all means use that. For me, that flavor was just too strong when I tried it that way. And then we want to add some acidity in here, so I'm going to use just a tablespoon of white vinegar. You could also use lemon juice in place of the vinegar if you want. Next, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt to our jar, and then half a teaspoon of dried mustard. Now, I really like to use the dry because it imparts less flavor to my end result. But if you don't have dry mustard, you could just use the same amount of a Dijon or prepared yellow mustard. Now my immersion blender, I'm going to put right over top of the yolk of my egg, start it up, and I'm not going to move it just yet. So you want to let the emulsification process really get started in the bottom here. You see how the white's starting to come up, it's starting to get creamy, and that oil and the egg is all incorporating, and that's what we want. I have made the mistake in the past of pulling my immersion blender up too quickly and then getting basically mayo, but a very thin mayo, and I like my mayo to be thick and creamy. So I err on the side of caution, and I will let my immersion blender sit there for about 20 to 30 seconds before I begin moving it around. After it's sat there, you will just start to move it kind of up and down and around to make sure that all of the oil gets incorporated there and you don't have any pools of unmixed ingredients. And then you can just turn off your immersion blender and take it out, and there you go. You have got nice creamy mayo, and I love this recipe. To me, it tastes very similar to like a Hellmann's or a Duke's mayonnaise, but it doesn't have any sugar in there. It's all good ingredients that I can control. And I'll just pop the top on this and leave this in my fridge for about a week. And there you go. We have homemade mayo. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions for me, just leave me a comment below. Bye-bye.